Hi, welcome. Welcome to this live reading. Thank you for being here. I've got myself all set up with the chat available to me here. Welcome to Cardinal Rose Tarot. Thank you for tuning in for this live layout. I'm really excited to do this work. I love this time of year. I'm really delighted and happy to talk about ancestors and ancestor work and ghosts and all of this stuff that comes with this time of year. This is the time of year where the veil is considered the thinnest. It's why so many cultures around the world celebrate this time of year, including Dia de los Muertos, with the, I have behind me the marigolds that are, sorry, I said that English word with an accent, which is obnoxious, but got the marigolds back there. I've got my own little bouquet going here. Got my little gourd or my pumpkin, a pomegranate here for our abundance. I'm just really loving it. And I wanted to share a little bit about, please share in the comments or in the chat anything you care to about your ancestral lineage, anything you do to honor your own ancestors, or even if you have questions about what can you do to honor your ancestors. One of the things that I do, and I did with my teacher, her name is Corinne Boyer. She is a hedge witch and trolldom initiate, who practices her craft out of the Olympic Peninsula on Turtle Island in the Pacific Northwest. And she taught me about this and how to do this. This is a bundle that I made with her guidance to honor my ancestors. And so the contents of this bundle is just for me to know. They're things that have meaning to my ancestors, and this bundle is a way that I can honor my ancestors on my altar. You can honor your ancestors by making them an altar with pictures of them, right? And where you do an ofrenda like you can for Dia de los Muertos. If that's not your culture, that doesn't mean you can't make an ancestral altar. You can, because we all have ancestors. We all have a bloodline. We all have history that takes us back into where we were all animists, right? Where we all worship nature, where we all were just trying to make our way and understand this life that we were in, right? So this is my ancestor bundle, and it's full of things that my ancestors liked and wanted and valued and cared about, right? And I keep that on my altar, and I just wanted to share it here. You can make one yourself using natural materials. This is black cotton that I used. I wanted to use black to represent the veil and that they're on the other side, right? And then this wool, which is what ties and sews this bundle together, this wool yarn that's hand spun, right? So things like that. One of my ancestors used a spindle and distaff, and I met her in an ancestor meditation. Her name is Roby. And one of the things that she wanted me to do when I asked her, how can I honor you, is she wanted to be honored with a rabbit pelt on my altar. So I went out and found actually an indigenous group that sells their materials like feathers and things. You can't buy feathers if you're not indigenous, right? But I bought a rabbit pelt through them and then placed it on my altar to honor my ancestors, and her in particular. So just nice things you can do. And believe me, stuff like this, if you're new to it, for whatever reason, I don't know why I'm talking about this. I'm not trying to teach necessarily. But I remember when I got started learning my path of like animism and witchcraft and nature worship and all of that, I was overwhelmed. I was like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I wish I was already on the path, right? Like, I already wanted a beautiful altar. I was like, I want these things, and I was impatient maybe a little bit in the beginning about building up to it. Like, this altar has been in the making for like 20 years, right? And there are things that used to be on it that are no longer there and whatever. It's a living space. It's a shrine, right? I have an Ifa shrine as well that's in a separate part of my home for the Orishas, right? So these are just ways that you can bring this kind of work into your life. If you're not somewhat like me, I was never a churchgoer. Wasn't raised really with any ceremony. So I taught myself, and I learned through my teacher, Corinne. So now this is just going to be messages from the ancestors. Thank you for, looks like there's some folks in here. For some reason the messages are not, I'm not seeing the messages in my chat. Why is that happening? That's weird. Is the stream still going? For some reason it's saying that I have messages in my chat. Oh, no, it's not messages. It's just the people that are here, I guess. Hopefully, if you're making comments in the chat, for some reason I'm not seeing them. I don't know why that is. I apologize if you are. Oh, hi. Hello there. Good. The chat is working. Thank you for commenting in there so I could tell. I appreciate it. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. This is just going to be a collective message, a collective reading for us. Collective messages, collective tarot and oracle card messages. I am the boss. Thank you, Felipe. Thank you, Felipe, for subscribing and for liking my content. I really appreciate it. So we're just going to go ahead and start in asking for messages from Spirit. What are messages from Spirit? What are messages from our ancestors that want to come through for all of us? I'm asking for collective messages that are maybe going to be important for us to hear for the coming year, or for what our ancestors would like from us, maybe in terms of offerings or recognition, how they want to be recognized, anything they want us to know. This is their time. This is their space. I've invited them in here. My altar is set up with things for them that they can sip on and snack on if they need to. And let's just see what they have to say. What they have to say to us with regard and respect. I have a lot of loved ones on the other side, a lot of passed over loved ones. Oh my gosh, how beautiful. Right at the beginning, the very first card is the star, which is so perfect. They're with us. They're here. I'm feeling that they're appreciating being invited and being acknowledged and saying, we're in the stars and we're here watching. We're with you. It's really beautiful. They see the work that we're doing and they're worried that we're not resting enough. Well, let me finish the layout here. Because sometimes I get so engrossed with the first cards that I forget I'm doing a layout, and then the next cards, ooh, oh my gosh, they're definitely, so where the energy is headed is the Tower. So they're wanting us to be aware of something, and they're definitely, I'm feeling a lot of, that they're feeling grateful that we're here and talking to them, honestly. So let me also, sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place, but I wanted to burn a little bit of smoke for them too. This has some hyssop herb in it, which is considered a sacred herb in the Bible. So if anyone in this collective has that kind of herbal acknowledgement in their history, like biblical herbs and stuff, that's coming through as an acknowledgement. It's said that Jesus was given a bough or a branch of hyssop while he was on the cross because it's a healing herb. And it's an herb for blessings. So we'll just thank the spirits for blessing the space here. Glad I remembered to do that. All right. It smells amazing. Thank you, Spirit. So they see that we're working hard and we're not resting. They also see that we may feel like we're failing or we're losing. And if we're talking about world events, it's like they're acknowledging that we might be afraid right now about what's happening, that we may be trying to like stand up against bullies, or stand up for the underdog, stand up for the oppressed. You may be watching what's happening in Gaza with horror, right? And wondering, like, when is it going to end? This is sort of what they're saying. They're saying that and with the star in the reverse, it's like they're acknowledging, yeah, we're here, but you may be wondering if we're here and watching, or whether we've abandoned you, right? Things like that. Because when we're speaking of these kinds of times, it's natural that people would start wondering, like, I used to believe in God, but maybe not anymore, because look at the horrible things happening in the world, right? Things like that are heavy on our minds right now. So this got a little deep quickly, honestly, but that's the ancestors, so that's good. So in a vulnerability position, you're really, it's like we or you or the collective is craving and hungry for better days, times that we weren't so pressed and burdened and bothered by everything happening in the world. And for people of privilege, that might be pretty recent. For people who've been living without any sort of social capital or privilege, this has been going on for a long time. But, you know, that's kind of a vulnerability, is feeling like I want to be in a place where I can just have fun and cut loose and be into the stuff that I'm into and not have to worry about the bigger things. Well, that's not the world we're in right now, and that's a vulnerability. We're feeling kind of at odds internally about that. We're also feeling like we're never going to get there. Our quest, a Knight of Pentacles is the slow-moving knight in the deck, and here in the reverse, it's like he's going through quicksand. It's a feeling of like, we're never going to get, like, why, what is so hard? We're burdened, like, this world, this crisis, everything that's happening feels like a hellscape at times. We're being witnessed, okay, with this star card in the very keystone or cornerstone position. We're being acknowledged for that. We're not alone, okay? That's what this is saying. But we feel like we're exhausted, we're tired, we don't feel like we can rest, we feel like we've got to defend the vulnerable, right? Like, it's that kind of level of exhaustion. And it's almost like there's no mercy. We feel like there's no mercy to the brutality, to the, you know, children are being impacted. I just saw a fact the other day that the leading cause of child death in the world over 2025 has been Israel's bombing of Gaza, which is very sobering. So this is getting deep. This is not necessarily carefree energy yet, okay? Yeah, that's it. That's what they're saying. They're delivering the hard truth right now. It's the vulnerable truth that we're all looking at, that we are not turning away from as much as we want to. We're being forced, and we're accepting that. We're looking at the hard truths. It's not, this collective is not sticking their head in the sand, okay? We are feeling very exhausted. Wounded warrior, where is the change? Well, the tower is here. The tower is here, but it's in the reverse. To me, it's not coming in the reverse, though. It's coming as a very catalytic, change-based energy. So let's see. Is that right, Spirit? What's the spirit world telling us about this tower? What is the spirit world telling us about this? Very quick change and communication coming in. So my take on this was right. It's not in reverse. It's not saying there's no change. It's saying there's a lot of incoming, swift, fast, fiery, moving energy that's going to come in and change things and shake things up. Communicative, possibly, energy. Yeah, that's going to end this feeling of never getting anywhere. The Seven of Pentacles is another card of feeling like you may never see the fruits of your labor or your harvest, and it's in the reverse, so it's like that times 20. Along with this Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, it's coming to an end. It's gonna, by some new gesture, it's not a big enough one though, is what it's showing here? We might have to go within, because what I'm feeling here is that maybe the powers that be, either globally or in our personal lives, that we're facing as this collective, they may be our adversaries, are people that are sort of working at cross purposes with us or against the goals that we have for the planet and for our world and whatever. They may be about to make some gestures towards us that are laughable, okay? That are like, oh, yeah, sure. Like, we'll give you food benefits, but it's all like crap, like candy, nothing nutritious, right? Stuff is something like that. Like, there's going to be offers being made maybe, and our ancestors are cautioning us about that these offers shouldn't be listened to, and that maybe we need to go within and listen to our inner light around some of these gestures that are going to be made. What is the type of gesture that's going to be made? What's the type of gesture here? Yeah, it's a trap, whatever it is, because we've got the Arana, the spider, in reverse, and it's card 33. This is a message straight from them that this is a trap, whatever is going to be offered to us collectively, and it's going to be different for different folks in this group. So it might be personal for some, it might be, you know, if you're an activist or a politician or whatever, it might be more of the sort of global situation. Whatever it is, though, my read on this is spot on. It's a trap offer. It's a trick. It's not good. It's like, oh, yeah, sure, we'll give you food benefits. And then when you go and look at the food, it's all junk and none of it's nourishing. They've kept all the good food for themselves kind of offer. What else is the offer? Don't listen to the offer. That's what it's saying. It's not it. This is not it. We need to hold out. Yeah, because there's better, there's more. This gourd, this melon right here is representing to me more nourishment, bounty, abundance, this, right? Pomegranate, seeds, fruit, right? Like something fruitful. This is what we should have, not this fake offer that we shouldn't listen to. We should be, and this is number 11, right? Yeah, they're not operating from the heart, okay? It's the heart in the reverse. Whatever this offer is going to be, it's malicious. So now what we're going to do, now that we have the story, is we're going to get more into advice, okay? Advice for us. Spirit is warning us, and the ancestors are warning us about some type of fake offer that's a trap that's coming in for us. So now we're going to find out what is that fake offer. And if this is resonating, let me know. It looks like I've only got a couple people in here right now. But let's see. What's going to be advice for us? Actually, I'm going to use this deck. I'm going to switch decks. What's going to be some advice? What advice do we need? What advice do we need now that we know that this fake offer is coming in? That's meant to trap us. It's going to be more of the same. There's definitely a dark energy that's stalking the collective, and it's been coming through really since the eclipse. And I'm feeling it again in this advice layout because I've got a Magus in the reverse, Death in the reverse. It's similar to a personal reading that I did this morning when I was trying to tap into some stuff. So it's here again. Oops. And it's like dark energy that's stalking. Whether this is something like a corrupt presidency, dark Freemasons and Eastern Stars, right? Or it could be a dark coven. It can look like a lot of different things, but it's showing up here again. The advice is very interesting. The advice position here is the Death card in the reverse. And then where things are headed is, yeah, I don't know. What I'm going to have to pull clarifiers here, because that's, with this Magus in the reverse card coming through again, it's like this energy that's stalking this collective is kind of dark, and we're being warned about it. And so rather than try to just guess based on these tarot cards, I'm going to pull a few more for this to complete this layout that I just about always do when I do this particular layout. And there's been a lot of truth and reconciliation. A lot of readers and astrologers predicted that 24 and 25 were going to be like this. Lots of truths coming out, lots of things being revealed. Truths coming to light, things of that nature, and that has really been happening. I mean, my God. So that dark energy that's been kind of stalking this collective, I don't feel like it's anything that is going to prevail. It's like the death, it's like the old way is dying, and it's not going down easily. It's not going down without a fight. And there's that scene in Lord of the Rings where Gandalf yells at that beast and says, "You shall not pass." And then they all make it across the bridge just in time. And then right as that beast is crashing back down in, something like his tail or whatever whips up and hits Gandalf, right? Remember, in Gandalf, everybody thinks he dies and everybody's devastated. I don't know where or why that story is coming through, but it's coming through. Like this dark energy that's stalking the collective, what is coming through from the ancestors and the spirits that are telling us this is that's that sting that's going to come right at the end, right before it dies. This is like the death throes or the final blows of this old way, possibly, that's coming through. So this is coming out kind of crazy. Yeah, there's dark energy stalking this collective. There's a lot of illusion present, and that's not surprising because the veil is very thin, and so there's all kinds of stuff peeking through the veil. Spirits being manifest, us going over into the other side in our dreams, like we're playing back and forth across the veil right now. And it's saying, make sure that you rest, because that is a very vulnerable place to be. It's very exciting. We can get a lot of wisdom and downloads and insights and stuff like that at this time. It's also a vulnerable time where dark energy from beyond the veil, you know, has more access to us, right? So it's a time to be aware of your vulnerability, to breathe deeply, to rest, to do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself. There's incoming news, like it was saying in the first layout, of a tower type nature where we're not in control, and a tower is like that. It's striking down the castle. It's tearing open the foundations, right? It's like The tower, oh my God, the image of the East Wing just being demolished out of nowhere. And now everybody's like, hello, did you even check for asbestos or do anything? So there's something to this tower that's coming where we're not in control. It's coming in fast. There's going to be a lot of information, things revealed, and we're just being told, turn it over to fate. We're not the ones in control. There's very positive things coming. Even though it feels like it's challenged, the new earth, the new world, the positive, the fortunate is coming. What we need to do in this collective, what we're being advised to do, is not to cast our pearls before swine. So don't try to convince the haters anymore. Let go. Don't try to steer them to our side. This is the separation of the wheat and the chaff, or the wheat and the tares, or whatever you phrase you want. It's separating the people who are committed to being true and ethical and people that just want to cut corners and get ahead. There's starting to be like a sorting out, is what this is saying. We don't want to try to convince anyone. We just need to take care of ourselves right now and let God take care of the rest, right? While this is all in motion. We need to guard our inner vein of gold and shield our energy while these endings occur, because there are many, many endings happening, many endings. With this death card coming out again, this cross, which represents an ending in the Lenormand, there's tons of endings, but simultaneously are new beginnings, right? Like every ending has a seed of a new beginning in it. Every storm has new life just on the horizon once the storm clears, right? And all the dead limbs have been shaken out of the tree. Do you need me to do any more metaphors? Where the energy is headed is dark arrows. Use caution, lower your profile, snake, betrayal energy. People that don't want to be left behind are going to resort to some shady tactics to get ahead of us, who are on the right and true path, who do want to have ethical, heart-based, love-based lives, and a world where, you know, there isn't a billionaire class that's, you know, I'm not a communist, but, you know, we all see what's happening. You know, the 1%. So what else do we need to know about the advice? We need to lay low, is what it's saying through this transition. We need to not worry about rescuing and saving anyone that's on a dark path right now. Let God worry about that, is what we're saying. Maybe not if you're a priest or a minister. That's kind of your job, I guess. But for the rest of us, not really. We don't need to worry about trying to convert anyone to our way of seeing things. Yeah, there's a lot of illusion present. And that's so amazing because this is very synchronistic. There's a lot of synchronicity, happening here. Because here we have the moon card and here we have the moon card. And they're in a diagonal. Here we have a snake and here we have the devil. Okay, this is fated. This is by design, okay? This is maybe prophesied, okay? What the ancestors are warning us about. And because with this moon card right here and this devil card right here, that's like an X. And one of my sort of co-spiritual people in my world, Lana, talked about the two total solar eclipses that we had in the US. One that was like 10 years ago now, and then one that was only a couple years ago now, and they formed a cross right across the entire continental United States, right? It felt meaningful that happened. And this is like that. It's that same type of thing. It's like a cross forming through this reading. It's really cautioning us about this shadow, unchecked shadow. Rest while this runs amok, because it's doing itself in, okay? Turn it over to fate and make beauty with what you can. And a really intense image just came through with this violin card, which is the band on the Titanic that played because that's what they knew to do. And I'm not saying that's our fate, but it's saying what we know to do is make our music. What we know to do is be healers. What we need to do is make art. What we need to do is live from our heart, live our way, the way that the band did as the Titanic was sinking. They comforted a lot of people. They comforted themselves. They practiced their art. I don't know why that's coming through. I don't feel like we're being warned that we're all going to die here. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. And you got to have a sense of humor with it, because what else can you do? But it's something like that. It's something like, turn it over to fate and just do what we do. Do what our jam is, okay? That's what we do right now. Our place is guaranteed. So you might be somebody that resonates with the 144,000. I don't know whether I believe in that or not, okay? But it's all over spiritualism. So I'm going to name it because it's coming through here with this guarantee card from the Loteria deck, okay? It's saying that this is all by design. Our place is assured. We don't need to go about frantically trying to convince people who are in toxic, hating, racist, bigot, 1% energy, okay? We don't need to worry about them. Let God handle that. There's illusion afoot, dark forces at foot, shadow afoot. We just need to rest and lay low. Guard our inner vein of gold. And again, here, this, I love it. This is amazing. Because here we have don't cast your pearls before swine in this card. Over here, we have El Cotorro. This is a talking parrot, and it's in the reverse. And it's saying don't cast your pearls before swine. It's an echo of that. Right from the Blue Avians. Okay, this is channeled from the Blue Avians. I can feel that. This is really amazing. This is very beautiful. Thank you, ancestors, and thank you, Spirit. The collective message is that for those of us that are trying to live from our heart, and I don't believe that if we're not Christians, we're going to hell. I don't believe in that. I believe that if we're good people, putting good in the world, and you don't have to believe what I believe. I'm not putting myself out there as a guru. I really want to make that clear. This is just my beliefs as a card reader and a therapist, okay? We are being cautioned as people who are trying to live from our heart and do good and be good and do uplift the oppressed and end genocidal practices, land back, all that stuff. People that are trying to live in accordance with the planet and with divine nature and divine law. We just need to lay low right now. That's what this is saying. And we need to turn our fears and our concerns over to God, over to fate, over to what's greater than us. So I'm just going to pull one last card here from the Horror Oracle deck in honor of spooky season. I love this Horror Oracle. You probably can't see it very well. Maybe from here you might be able to see it better. It's a great deck. What's some advice? What's some advice? Because there is no light without dark. And I'm not someone who tries to just put out there Christian concepts of evil, okay? But I do believe in dark shadow evil type things, and the light doesn't exist without them. There's a place in the world for the dark, okay? That's something that ancient Christians understood. Sometimes I think modern evangelical Christians lost their way totally with that kind of stuff. Final message. Wonder of the world. It's so great. That's from King Kong. It's so perfect because that's what we're talking about, is the world. And King Kong is an amazing story about people doing horrible things to the planet and to nature and to all that. This card came out in the upright, and it's our final message. It's our final collective message. And I'm going to read from the guidebook. Hey, they FW, I'm glad you're back. Okay, this is the end of this reading now with this final message that I'm going to read from the book. Oh my God, and it could not be more perfect. Oh no, it's not, sorry. I was gonna say it's the last card in the deck, but it's not. King Kong, directed by Marion C. Cooper and Ernest B. Shodes Sack, 1933. So this is the original King Kong movie that's honored in this card. Wonder of the world. Focus on what makes you special. Everyone has unique qualities, and you do too. Proclaim your individuality. Shout it from the rooftops. Show the world what only you can do. While attracting attention may lead to misunderstanding and others trying to take you down, bravery can bring admiration and even spark wonder. Fortune favors the bold. So that's very interesting because we're being told to lay low, lay low, lay low, rest, rest, rest. But there's going to be a point where we're going to have to be bold again. And that's why we're being told to rest now. Because fortune favors the bold. Fortune is on our side. We may have been acting boldly for quite a while now to bring justice and balance to the planet or to society or whatever. And this is saying rest. It's here, it's coming. Rest and then get ready again. Because our fortune is going to smile on us. And the new world is going to need bold actors, right? Not timid people, but people who are willing to take bold steps towards the new world and the new earth, right? So I hope you like this live reading. I'm going to do a live tomorrow as well for Halloween. I'm going to be doing some obsidian mirror scrying, which if you don't know what that is gazing into a mirror, much like you gaze into a crystal ball. And we're going to be doing cards, mirror gazing, and storytelling from fun ancestor memories. If you want to share them in the chat, I'll share them aloud, right? So that's tomorrow at noon. Thank you again for liking and subscribing. Oh, I was also gonna, that is the end of this reading, but if anyone is still in here and wants me to ask a question for them from the cards, I can do that. I'm happy to do that because I've been doing that typically and I have the energy. So if anyone has a question and you want to ask, go for it. It looks like there might only be one more person in here. Whoever's still in here, if you want to ask a question, go ahead and put it in the chat. Or now there's two. I'm about to wrap up this chat, but I'm just letting you all know that if you want to ask me a question, enter it real quick in the chat and I'll answer it. But otherwise, I'm about to log off. So I'll just take a couple minutes, a couple seconds here in case you want me to tell your fortune when it comes to the current spiritual energy around you. Anybody have any questions? Felipe or VFW? Anybody? All right. Well, I guess that's going to do it. I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Very appreciated. And I hope to see you again in future readings. Take good care and be safe. Be sure to get your rest.